with that, let's move on to this. Went to the AMC Screen Unseen last night, and as expected, they did Jurassic World Rebirth.
You got what you asked for.
Which, by the way, I was in a movie theater.
Did we?
Did we, though?
Be careful what you
Did
wish
we
for.
get what we wished for?
Could have been F1.
But it's the first time I've been in a Screen Unseen where it was sold out.
Yeah.
And so obviously the word had gotten out. We talked about it on the show yesterday. Everybody was there, but you don't know for sure until the movie starts. And it was a funny experience. I'm in the Screen Unseen. They play all the trailers, blah, blah, blah.
A lot of trailers.
And then at a Screen Unseen, then AMC brings the screen. And now, a movie that has not yet been seen on screen. And then the Jurassic World poster comes up, and the whole audience in deep relief and excitement cheers. Like, oh, because you never know. You never know for sure until that poster comes up. So everybody was excited that it was going to be Jurassic World. And they had a nice little intro by Scarlett Johansson and whoever her male co-star was. Not Mahershala Ali, but the guy from Wicked. Anyway, so a little message for AMC viewers. We've been waiting on this. We've been keeping this secret that this is going to be it. Okay, so here we go. Guys, I'm going to let you know right now. There's really not much to spoil in this movie. The trailers tell us that a bunch of scientists
Except
need
my
to
sense
go.
of well-being.
Yeah, the trailers tell us this. A bunch of people need to mount an expedition to go to where dinosaurs still are and get some DNA samples to try to create miracle cures.
Dino DNA.
And in the midst of that, they're going to fight a big whale dinosaur thing in a boat, which we saw things. They're going to be running from a T-Rex down a river in a raft. That was in the trailers. They're going to be confront a big pterodactyl-like creature in its nest. That was in the trailers. There's going to be this big monster, mutated monster thing. That was in the trailers. Guys, I'm seriously telling you here, there's not much to spoil. There really isn't. The movie is exactly what they purported it would be, except good. And so with that preamble, I am going to let you know right now, because I simply don't care. There will be some spoilers in this, if you can even call them spoilers. So John, there it is. The little spoilers warning is right there. As long as this if you don't want to know anything about Jurassic World, although you probably already know everything about it you need to know, because almost everything's in the trailers. But if you don't want to know anything else, wait until that spoilers warning is gone. Then unmute your phone, tablet, laptop, computer, television, whatever you're watching this on. Mute now until that spoilers thing is gone, okay? I did my out of theater reaction. I said it's not the worst Jurassic World movie. And it's not. It's not the worst one. I said last night that I was pretty disappointed with it. I've kind of evolved. The more I think about the movie, though, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Let me delve into a few things here. There are things in this movie that are great. And they're the things that we suspected would be great from the trailers. The whale dinosaur thing attacking the boat that we see in the trailer. Awesome sequence.
Awesome sequence.
Awesome sequence. The T-Rex chasing the family down the river in their little paddle boat. This scene here. Awesome sequence. Fantastic. There's a little scene where a really annoying guy in the movie that really shouldn't have been there, is taking a pee and velociraptors are sneaking up behind him. It only lasted about 20 seconds, but my stomach was in my chest, man. I'm like, oh, there are moments and sections of this movie that are really quite good, but they all add up to about 15 minutes, 16, 17 minutes of the movie. And it's a waste. Am I sitting here telling you, as some people misinterpreted my out of theater reaction? That's the thing about my out of theater reaction. I got to keep it to about a minute, so I can't go into detail. But a lot of people misinterpreted my out of theater reaction, saying, so John, you just wanted just 2 hours of straight dinosaurs eating people. No.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I mean,
yes.
the original Jurassic Park. A lot of people say, well, John, in the original Jurassic, I get it, but here's the difference between the original Jurassic Park movie and this one. The moments when dinosaurs weren't doing stuff in the original Jurassic Park, you had a film with a legitimate premise. You had a film in Jurassic Park with rich characters, memorable characters, with memorable dialogue, chemistry amongst them, and character progression for each one of them as the movie proceeds. each character is a little bit different by the end of the movie, not just because they got scared shitless by dinosaurs, but every character, all the main characters, end up at kind of a different place at the end of the movie than they were at the beginning. This movie has none of that. These are flat, one-dimensional characters, and with their only thing that was something meant to pass as depth or pass as character development wasn't anything. There's a scene in the movie where like just Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali just sitting around our table on a boat going, hey, you know, our friend died. Yeah, that was rough. Man, I missed my mom's funeral. Oh, that sucks. Did you and your wife get back together? Nah, because our kid died. We couldn't rectify our marriage. Oh, that's too bad. Oh, well, let's move on. And it was like you're thinking at some point this is going to come into play. And it really never does.
Really bummers of dinner guests, man.
Yeah, they're not the lives of the party, my friend. And then the moment Rupert Friend shows up, he's of course the corporate guy who's wants to go get this dino DNA, right? I turned to my wife and I said, "Oh, this is Paul Reiser from Aliens." For those of you who don't know that reference, here's the stereotypical, you know exactly what's going to happen to this guy, right? At some point, this guy is going to show his true colors. And at some point, this guy is going to betray some of the other people in the party. And at some point, then this bad guy is going to get his comeuppance because of corporate greed. All of that happens. Oh, and you could telegraph it from 10 miles away. You could telegraph it more than when Shawn Michaels stomps his foot setting up the Sweet Chin music. You knew that it was coming.
Sweet shit.
You knew it was coming. And then apparently the same family from Jurassic Park 3, oopsie, we got lost again. Only now we're on a sailboat, and I know they're different characters. But that family that you see in the trailers, totally pointless.
They were introduced 45 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, for no reason.
Randomly, they brought in the Lincoln lawyer, who I really like, but they brought his family in the middle of this movie and dropped them in because someone probably thought, oh my God, they're looking in the edit room. They're probably going, you know, we should add a family in this movie. Well, I guess we'll have to go shoot that.
And they're sailing.
It had nothing to do with the first 45 minutes of this movie.
And they're sailing. What they say in the movie, everybody understands, is a no-fly and a no-sail zone. And they're literally within 20 or 30 miles of it. And they're like, wait, there's dinosaurs in the water? What?
They say they're sailing to Cape Town, South Africa. Well, where did they leave from? In this little tiny sailboat. It's not the biggest boat in the world.
No, pretty small boat.
And it's just, it was the most, and I'm taking my 2 daughters and my oldest daughter's dickhead boyfriend.
Yep.
Who
Sounds
sleeps
like a
until
good time.
6 o'clock on a boat.
Sounds like a good time. Good time to me. Yep. So they're doing this, right? And first of all, this movie starts with the most idiotic conceit. People are bored of dinosaurs in the world now. And they're all dying off, except in this one area where there's more oxygen rich. That becomes important later on for one of my biggest pet peeves. Like they set up at the beginning of the movie, dinosaurs can't really exist in our world because the climate's different. Only along the equator can they really exist because of the oxygen richness and all that kind of stuff. Okay, they set that up. Number one, if I saw an elephant on the street, I've had elephants around my whole life. Long before me, I would still stop in awe and wonder and a gag and aghast. And they're like, Stegosaurus walking or Brontosaurus walking along the side of New York. Nah, nobody cares anymore. Yes, they would. But here's the thing. You guys have heard everybody talk about in all the first reactions about Dolores. Oh, Dolores. And I thought maybe Dolores was the big mutant dinosaur. It is not. Dolores is this little dinosaur.
It's the baby Yoda of the movie.
It's the baby Yoda. It's Grogu. It's this little dinosaur that the little girl comes across, and the little dinosaur takes an instant liking to the little girl, and the little girl loves little Dolores. And I'm watching this movie, I'm thinking, okay, at some point, this is going to become relevant, right? I'm thinking, oh, the family's going to be cornered by a big dinosaur, and they're about to be eaten, but then Dolores's mama shows up, or there's going to be some purpose or some function. Don't hold your breath, because it ain't coming. There is no reason for this little stupid thing, which, by the way, this little girl was ripping away from its parents, wherever they are. But here's the thing. At the very end of the movie, and remember, there is a spoiler warning here. At the very end of the movie, remember, this is a movie that starts by telling the audience Dinos can't survive in the world anymore. Only in this one little location can they survive because the air and the oxygen and the climate and all this kind of stuff. So how do they end this movie? The little girl takes little Dolores dinosaur off the island and is going to take her back to civilization where that little thing is condemned to die because it can't breathe the fucking air, Rob. They seem to forget about that. Oh, and we're going to escape the island by riding on this little boat. Beep, beep. We're going to just sail through the waters in this little boat. Isn't this the same fucking goddamn waters where the giant Spinosauruses and the giant whale dinosaurs just destroyed your other boats? We're just sailing along, no problem. Whereas Jurassic Park was a great movie without the dinosaurs. Just have the theory of the dinosaurs in it. And that movie was a great movie because of great dynamics, great story, great characters, great dialogue, all that kind of stuff, following its own internal logic. Clever girl. It had following all of its own internal logic, and it was still a good movie even before the Velociraptors or the T-Rex showed up. This movie was literally painful to watch whenever one of these great admittedly wonderful big highlight action sequences were happening. It was devoid of all the things that made the original Jurassic Park good. Again, this is a movie that has some great action sequences, some good scares, some truly thrilling moments. Absolutely it does. I'm not saying it doesn't. It absolutely does. And I thoroughly enjoyed those moments. I really did. But they were way too few and way too far between and too much pure, awful filmmaking when that stuff wasn't happening. This is not a good movie, dude. This is not a good movie. It's just not. And again, it's all subjective. If you enjoyed it, that's the most important thing. I'm not trying to take that away from you. But if you're going to ask me, this was a poor movie. And dude, you know what this is to me? This is now 3 movies in a row, just in the last week and a half that I've gone to that I had some expectations and hope for. Elio disappointed me. 28 years later disappointed me. Although I didn't dislike that movie, it still ended up being a bit of a disappointment to me. I thought it should have been better. And now this Jurassic World movie, which I was really excited about, ended up just being a stinker. Anyway, Rob, you also went to the Screen Unseen last night. You went to the secret screening. You saw Jurassic World. What did you think about it? Let me ask you
a question, John. You know, in your lifetime when you're really hot for somebody, like there's this girl, you really want to get with her, you know, whatever, and somehow you find yourself in that position and you finally get to have that first kiss. And you're making out and you realize this girl does not know how to kiss. Now, I'm speaking about it from my perspective, and that means you know that if she doesn't know how to kiss, there's nothing else she knows how to do that's going to get you where you want to go anyway. So it's over. And you realize that after that first kiss. Maybe she uses too much tongue. She does not bring her finesse game. It just doesn't work. I felt that way about this movie. First of all, this movie begins by telling me, it opens with text on the screen, telling me, you know those dinosaurs that you're interested in seeing? No one cares.
Yeah, no one cares about that.
It literally opens and tells me I am an easy lay for this movie. I am there with my legs spread open. Do it to me, baby. Do it. Give it to me. And at first it just tells me, nope. The thing you came for. If the characters in the movie are no longer feeling a sense of awe and wonder, the world in the movie is no longer feeling awe and wonder at dinosaurs, why should I?
They've done it.
We literally then, at the beginning of the movie, like you were talking about, you see a brontosaurus that is the one remaining dinosaur in New York City. First of all, dinosaurs in New York City. I will watch that movie. The one dinosaur in New York City is literally trapped under a bridge, and they're trying to use a crane to get it out, and it's kind of going, woo, in the middle of traffic.
And nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nope, nobody.
They're all, rumored friends like, God, well, this is a pain in the ass. I got to get out of the car and go to get to my meeting with Scarlett Johansson. Everybody, and I'm watching this going, I want to see what happens to the Brontosaurus. Where are you going to put it? Where did it go?
Again, if this was the real world,
park,
if this was a real world,
Jurassic Park,
and that was an elephant, all of traffic would be so. Oh my God, there's an elephant.
And you go into this museum, and you see when dinosaurs ruled the earth. You see the exact banner from Jurassic Park, and in Jurassic Park, it falls down over the Tyrannosaurus at the end of the movie, roaring.
Yep.
In this, it falls down in the museum because the museum dinosaur display is being taken down because no one cares about dinosaurs. And I'm like, really, David Kep? This is the way you're going to open your film? First of all, it's not the way the film opened. The film opened with this ridiculous Final Destination Rube Goldbergian.
How bad was that opening scene?
First of all, you're in a level 5 biohazard area, and some guy just is chomping on his Snickers bar, and they literally he just litters. He drops his candy bar wrapper in the middle of this bio lab, and the thing gets sucked in by a fan and turns off all the security.
I need to interrupt just to make sure our audience understands the stupidity of the scenario Rob is setting up. The movie begins. You see it in the trailer with the guy behind the glass. Open the door, right? What went wrong? Here's what went wrong. As Rob is pointing out, this is a top research facility with top security.
Top men.
And top safety procedures, right? Multiple layers of decompression zones and blah, blah. And the whole system comes tumbling together. Because you're right. I turned to my wife and I said, this is just Final Destination.
Yeah.
Because literally there's a guy in a biosuit getting ready to go into the study area, and he's literally eating a Snickers bar and then just throws the wrapper on the floor. Then as the door opens, oh no, that Snickers wrapper gets sucked into an air intake vent, and the entire fucking security system shorts out and shuts down.
Well, now you
That's
know.
how this thing starts.
Now you know how Emperor Palpatine felt after the destruction of the First Empire.
Damn it!
Well,
why did we have that exhaust port?
And let me just, this is the opening scene, this flashback 17 years ago or whatever. And then you see this idiot who's caused all of this, gets locked behind the door, as you see in the trailer, and the Mutasaurus or whatever is coming after him. Now, here's when I knew we were in trouble. When he's getting taken, we don't get a good chomp scene. We don't get it was like Blue Balls, man. We don't get to see death and destruction.
What is it,
the
cutaway?
dinosaur he just kind of drags him off. And then before we can see human death, before we can see Gru and blood, the Jurassic Park logo comes on the screen.
Yeah.
So even that left me unsatisfied. It was a bad kiss. And you're sitting there going, well, this is how the movie opens. And when the logo comes in, it was anticlimactic. It wasn't even well done. It's almost like they had to put it there to cover up the fact, well, you
Can I
can't
ask a
kill
question?
somebody. It's an R-rated movie now.
Can I ask you a question?
You
maybe
can.
maybe you can enlighten me. What's with the title of the movie? What is Rebirth?
It was a Dolores. It's going to rebirth.
There
in
was
the
literally
world.
nothing in this movie. There's nothing in this movie, not referenced, not implied, not nothing about something being rebirth. There literally was nothing. If anything, this movie sets up, these are the final days of the dinosaur.
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
Nothing in this movie about rebirth. Like,
Why did they
walked
just
out,
call
I'm
it
like,
Extinction?
what
Like
was-
Jurassic
what's
World
the name of the
Extinction or
title?
something.
I mean, the movie, the idea of Jurassic World. Well, not anymore. We're not interested in a Jurassic World. The dinosaurs have to live in the equatorial regions of the planet.
Well-
I mean, I wanted to see, dinosaurs being domesticated. Farmers, organic farms, instead of using plows, they're using brontosauruses to, do a whole acre of land in moments. I mean, something interesting. Give me something unique. And
CJC should be called Jurassic World Refund.
That's good.
no,
World Refund.
this script was just a bad script.
It was awful script.
It
Awful
felt
script.
like my friend Jamie said, he saw it last night too. He goes, this was a first draft that they shot because it didn't make. Look, you know what? If you have Mahershala Ali and you have Scarlett Johansson, and they are special operators, they're ex-military, whatever they were. Why not open this movie? You've got your flashback where you see the dinosaurs. Open this movie with a James Bond sequence where the two of them do something awesome, where you see how they are a crack team of special operators.
Establish them immediately.
As characters. Show us how awesome they are. And maybe something in that sequence goes horribly awry, which is why they don't see each other for a long time. And then when she has to convince Mahershala Ali, then it's character development with the two of them. Nope. We just meet Scarlett Johansson because Rupert Friend goes to meet with her and I'll give you $10 million. And you're like, who is this person?
Yeah, we have no idea.
Who is
but
she?
By the way, I got to throw this out
I
there.
faked my death on Vormir. They don't know I'm back on
They
Earth.
don't know I'm here. You know when I knew the movie was in trouble? Yeah, the stupid Final Destination opening was bad, but I thought, okay, can recover from this. Yes, the overly predictable mustache twirling corporate villain. Oh, it's Paul Reiser. Not even there. The bad non-premise that we saw in Deep Blue Sea and Avatar 2. We need to get these animals to harvest the DNA. We've seen that. That's not even when I knew the movie was in trouble. This is when I knew the movie was in trouble. When they finally mount the expedition to go get it, I'm like, 2, 3, 4. They do not have enough people in this movie to have a sufficient number of dinosaur kills. There's only like 6 people.
Yeah,
in
where's
this
all the
movie.
red shirts?
Like, where are the red shirts? You needed a crew of about 30 people on that boat. So when they got there, you knew, oh, there's going to be a lot of dinosaur. Munchy. Not so much. Dinos are on a diet because they didn't bring enough food. They did not bring enough. And as soon as I count, like, no, this is bad. You are not bringing enough characters. You need cannon fodder for people to die because there's only about 3 or 4 in the entire movie.
And then the first Dario Naharis shows up.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I mean, and I really thought that this character, who's kind of a badass, looks great in that shirt he's wearing. He sticks around for maybe 15 minutes. And then he becomes cannon fodder.
Which you see in the trailer. You see him die in the trailer. So there's one gone. Now you're only left with like 2 or 3
That's
more.
why they cut to 45 minutes in, just randomly cut to the middle of the ocean where you meet these brand new characters. We don't know who they are. They have nothing to do with this expedition. They're sailing to Cape Town across the Atlantic in a very small boat.
But
because they're on summer break?
Who's going to bring Dolores home though, Rob? If not for that little family.
We could have fixed this script with 90 minutes over lunch at Lucky Dog.
Yeah, we could have made
Or
it a
Lazy
better
Dog.
script. This is a bad movie, guys. It's a bad movie with some absolutely wonderful moments.
When the Jurassic Park movie you've gone to see starts, those sequences are good.
That were lifted right from the original Jurassic Park movie, or story, I should say.
Yeah, the book.
And they are. And those sequences are good. That 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there and 2 minutes here and 3 minutes there are all really good. But again, the problem is, as I reiterate it, in the original Jurassic Park movie, whenever the dinosaurs aren't on screen doing something horrifying, they had a good movie. They had the basic blocks of a good film. And this did not. This is one of those movies where a lot of my friends who are critics as well saw it and had some of the first reactions, said, wow, this is a really fun movie. No, it's not. You saw a different movie than me, man. This was not a good film.
Can I just ask you one more thing?
Sure.
Did this bother you? So like in the beginning, when you have meet the paleontologist character, he's explaining about all the largest dinosaurs. And the first one he shows you is the whale dinosaur. Why would you take a boat?
That size.
Why would you take a boat? If you know you start, this is the biggest thing it's the whale dinosaur of all. And you look at the mouth, it's like 30 feet long, and cut to, we're gonna sail right in.
Yep.
Well, why don't you take John Hammond's helicopter? Because there's only 5 of you anyway.
Pick it up in the air.
I mean, you fly in there, and you're in and out.
And by the way, another
Why
scene that
take a boat?
totally, I'm like, oh God, this is pathetic. There's a scene in the movie where you see a bit of it in the trailer already, where they're walking through the long grass and they see, what are they called? The Megasauruses or something? These giant Brontosaurus-like ones, right? These giant things. And they try pathetically to recreate that original scene. Yes, that's it exactly. They try to recreate that original scene from the original movie of the awe and wonder of seeing. I'm like, guys, we saw this 30 years ago. Why you? And this guy literally just drove by a Brontosaurus on the streets of New York.
And didn't
why are
look
they all
twice.
acting so
And all of a
amazed?
sudden they care.
Anyway,
They kind of established this with the very first Jurassic World, which is why I was like so annoyed with it. The older brother was just like, I don't want to look at dinosaurs. I want to text my girlfriend. Where's my girlfriend? I don't care about dinosaurs. I'm just like, what?
This is a bad movie. Anyway, guys, we spent more time than we should have. You can take down the spoilers thing now.
The whole movie's a spoiler.
We're all good. Jurassic World is not a good movie at all. It's got some great moments. You know what? Do yourself a favor. If you're going to go see it, show up 55 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, when the Lincoln lawyer shows up
Skip
in
the
his
first
boat.
55 minutes and You might have a little bit of a better time than I did. Anyway, guys, did you guys have a chance to see it? Whatever you guys thought about this trashy movie, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.